Yes, we are drinking a Ciroc. And we are about to do our introduction. Okay, anybody get a sneak peek of Carly B's new? What you like online with it? Turn the shot.
Somebody screenshotted it and posted by the time
It's Sip and Discuss, a podcast for Black and brown people. A judgment-free zone where we can express ourselves. I'm Michelle Mosley.
I'm Kalita Hunter.
And tonight we have our special guest with us, Sean Rock. And in honor of us having a special celebrity guest here with us, we are not doing our celebrity drinking buddies because we are actually
Drinking with one of them.
we're drinking with a celebrity. Sean Rock is a rap artist, lyricist. He is amazing. So we'll get into him a little bit later. But we want to remind you of October 29th. We'll be right here at Drip's Thursday. We always go live on Thursdays. But that Thursday, you'll actually be able to join us. So you'll actually be able to sit in the audience, watch us. We'll have a DJ. And it'll be from 6 to 11 p.m.
That sounds dope.
Masks are required as well as a temperature check. You must be 21 and over.
We will have free cocktails, but we are always welcome to BYOB.
There will be music provided by DJ Will, and our main topic will be mental health in the Black community.
Yes, it's time for healing. Our special guest will be Dr. Elle Moore. She's going to join us virtually. And we have set up like 6 questions to, talk about mental health in the Black community and how it is important to us. So tonight, drum roll, we have Sean Rock with us. What's going on, Sean Rock?
What's going on? I'm happy to be here. What is up?
We are so happy to have you. Let's do a toast.
Yes.
Cheers to
Salute.
a good show.
Salute.
To a good show. And tonight we are sipping on Ciroc.
Premium bar.
And it's pineapple. I have never had the pineapple vodka. Did you ever try the pineapple?
Probably. Wow.
Yeah. Ciroc, you always drinking on some. I always see you with a nice bottle.
Yeah, I got to stay
You
with the
even-
vibes. I got to stay with the vibes.
You even had spades.
Ace of
Ace
Spades.
of Spades. You had a vodka. Now tell us how that tastes. People live vicariously.
Believe it or not, it's really good. It's better than what I thought.
Really?
It's better than what I thought. It's got a sweet aftertaste. It's just good. Like you know how you get some champagnes and it's like it's bitter, it's like tart. Ace is really good. It's
That's
really
good to know.
Yeah, it's really good.
Not that I'll be getting it anytime soon.
You got to try it at least once.
When we on our yacht,
It's like a $700 bottle.
when we on our sip and discuss vacation on our yacht.
Right.
In the club it is. I bought it from the actual store.
You are
So
so
it's like
right.
half price.
You know what? And that's crazy because when I was in my early 20s, I always say my early 20s, but when I was in my early 20s, I used to go to the, damn, I'm telling my age.
The 40-40.
I used to go to the 44 a lot. And I always used to get bottle service. And I wasn't, like, in my bottle service, I would get a bottle of Moet. It would be like $250 to be in that area.
$75 in the store.
Yes.
Yo, I did not know that. I did not know that for the longest time.
Really?
And guys, when I seen that shit was that low in the store, it just like blew my mind. Like,
You was heartbroken?
yes! I'm like, and I think after that, like it had to be a real big night at 4040 for me to pay for VIP after that, like for bottle service after that. Because I was like, it's no way I'm
Spending that type of
spending that type of money for a bottle that's on. And I don't even think back, I maybe now was 75. I $50.
I get the rosé floats between 60 and 75.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the Ace is cheap. It's like a little under 300 the taxes in the store.
Dang,
And 700, that's cheap in the club. I've seen it shoot up 15, 25, depending on the night and the club.
Yeah. Like living in Atlanta, you go to the strip club and Future walk in, the whole price change.
Oh yeah.
Like it went from $20 to get into $100. Yep. Like just that fast. So Sean Rock, what do you have going on last night? I seen something it looked like it was in a graveyard or something. And then the week before you was recording in a church and
I was still working on the video. We were still shooting for that last night.
Oh, yeah. So that's one whole project.
Yeah, the video, well, we started shooting, I can't remember the date. And you see all the footage, like, yeah, we got enough. And then we sit and brainstorm, like, get this look at this type of scene. Yeah. So we keep changing and adding. I still got one more part to shoot before I'm done in front of the camera, and then the editors do their thing. Yeah, I was working late last night.
So is that going to be a part of a whole new album or a mixtape?
I don't know. Right now it's just a single. I thought about making an album, but it's like you put all that work into the album and then half the songs get missed. Because people, the attention spans are different now. Like I put out an album, let's just say I put out an album this month. By November they'll want another one because they already listened to the whole thing. So they constantly, the turnover for songs is crazy.
Because I run
through music,
and I run it in a whole. Like I will listen to your EP 1,000 times straight. Like, and I'm not exaggerating. Like I will listen to it on repeat, and like that will be all I will. And I'll be like, oh, now I want something else. Like you drop something new. Like we gonna drop something new now. Like,
but I still feel like artists still should promote even their older stuff, because there's always somebody out there who has never heard it, and that could be like the one song. Like a lot of artists that have made it actually like went to the next level in their career. It be from old songs that we just heard, and they like how you said you don't even listen to that album no more, and like
you go through it so fast.
Yeah, but then somebody like some white kid that's the son of somebody and hears it and it's just like, oh, this shit is hot as hell.
But see, that's different. That's them discovering you. But like, just say, even when he finds the new album, right? He listened to it for a month. He's so charged up and excited. If he likes you, they want more so fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just been releasing singles. I always tell people, I'll let the listeners decide when they want a whole project. Because then I know they actually take the time and listen to it.
Yeah. I wonder if that's how Rihanna's thinking.
I was about to say the same goddamn thing.
I wonder if that's the same
guy. Rihanna is just like, I'm not doing shit.
Yeah, she's like
I'm a mogul now. I'm a fucking mogul. I don't have to do music anymore.
They got a different take too, because they know the longer you wait and they put out a project, it's gonna go crazy.
Because you know what? That's what I felt about that Bryson Tiller project.
Yes, but she better not come out with no bullshit.
I doubt it.
It's happened. I'm trying to think of I anticipated it.
It was trash.
I can't remember top of my head. So tonight we getting into Black-owned businesses. We getting into legacy, and what it means to be Black and leave behind a legacy. And I think legacy in there at the end because I seen you now. It's like you're molding your son and I seen y'all in the studio and he's rapping and stuff, and I'm just like, yo, that's dope as hell for him to see you grinding and making these albums and making these videos, and then you can actually bring him in and mold him and help him with his own career. And to me, that's a form of legacy. Like that's a part of legacy. So we want to talk about that. And how I came up with this topic tonight was because I posted, title is, I always say this, what do I always big up Tidal.
Tidal always pays its artists more than any other streamer.
Streamer service. And from when I first discovered Tidal, I remember Jay-Z having an interview and talking about that, and like he was all for the artist. He's all for the artist, all for the artist. So I'm like, yeah, his black owned he's about the artist. I'm an artist, you know what I mean? My stuff has actually at one point been on Tidal. Like, so of course I'm gonna, why wouldn't I
go where they pay me more?
Where they pay me more.
They pay other people more.
And then the owner is black, with a whole black family, with a whole black legacy that he's gonna leave behind. He's also a man who, I want to say that, but yes, but then at the same time, it's like, and for everybody who knows Sean Rock, because I've actually been on the same like label, would you call it a label, the same team as Sean Rock at one point in my life. So like, and I've been on your album before, so I know that Sean Rock is like a real big Jay-Z fan. So I was like, I have to have Sean Rock on, because I'm also, yes, he is like a super. Anybody who buys the bottle of Ace of Spades, they gotta be a fan.
The Douce.
Yes, because everybody else be hating on it. You know what I mean? Like, too much. This nigga went there. Yeah, but if it was a white. Anyway, so back to
number one selling champagne too, by the way.
So
wow, is it?
Yeah, it's killing it, man. Yep. And the Douce is out of control. Since the COVID, the Douce is almost out. It's out, like you can't find it around here like that.
Wow, y'all gotta put me on the Douce.
Douce is nice. It's like Henny times 10.
I am not.
I don't know if I can do it.
You don't like it?
I'm not a Henny drinker.
But have you tried Douce?
Yes.
You don't like it still?
I don't like brown.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Me and brown don't.
She beat one.
Listen, anything possible the last time I like lost my like money and my ID like in New York.
Yeah, that Henny would do it.
And I woke up in the morning and was like, wait, did somebody rob me? And I was like, wait, but no, it was my debit card and my ID. My money was still in my wallet. So that's how I knew I didn't get robbed. I was like, I just left it somewhere. Drunk.
Off the Henny.
I woke up full face of makeup. Was like, yeah, this is why I don't drink Henny.
Yo, you know, when I was, it's funny because when I was growing up, Clear was the wino drink.
Was a wino?
Yeah,
well,
we used to say Clear, like every like real alcoholic that I knew when I was younger
had the brown bag
with the Clear vodka.
But it was, I don't know, I think it was like gin.
It's still Clear. It was still Clear.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up thinking, and then I was like, let me just try it. And I was like, this is cool.
I know.
So back to Jay-Z. Another reason why I feel like it was like it's important to support Tidal is because we know for a known fact that Jay-Z supports black communities. Like he has bailed out rioters, you know what I mean? Even in the beginning of his career, he went to Africa and did helped their whole water system. So when you think about something like that, it's like, does a company have to be 100% black owned to be something that you support and considered a black owned company when you know that he owns a big majority of it, and you know for a fact that money that he's getting, 9 out of 10, is going back somewhere into the black community.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So how do y'all feel? Like, do you feel like a company, because the guy stated, I'm going to read his comment. So far, the poll says 67% of you agreed with him on our poll that we did on our Instagram page. Remember, we go live every Thursday on our Instagram page. So if you want to join the conversation in live time, you can do that. So, I posted, you know, I'm a big Tidal fan. Tidal pays their artists more, and it's crazy how black people are not supporting it. It was a repost. And the guy says, although I don't think race should matter in business, ownership, just to clarify, Tidal may be technically black owned, but it isn't black founded company. Tidal was white owned and operated up until 5 years ago when it was purchased by a black owned company. That black owned company then sold over 30% of the Tidal to Sprint, a white operated company, but Japanese owned business. So there's many different hands in the pot. I don't think it qualifies as a black owned business. 30% of it is not black owned.
So?
I actually just had a conversation with somebody about this right before I came here and asked them how do they feel about do you actively, as a black person, seek out black business? And they said no. They said they don't care. They're like, you know why? They're like, because if this is what they said, if all black people just look for all black businesses, we wouldn't be able to meet the demand as black people.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either.
Because in order to meet the demand to produce more items, you gotta have
You have to have the money.
Right, so
you have to
you're
spend money to make money.
But if you start out selling something small, then it explodes. So every time you put out, what's the word I'm looking for?
A product?
A product. Every time you put out a product, it sells out. Now, if you're taking that money and you're hitting the club and blowing it, then of course. But if you're taking that money and it sells out every time, eventually you're gonna grow the inventory and produce more product to meet the demand. You have to start somewhere. Because anything that was popular sold out so many times.
That it had to become big.
Yeah.
I wonder what Amazon started out with. How many employees
Amazon started out in his garage.
All of them. Apple.
All of them.
Microsoft.
Yes.
All of them.
All of them. You know what this reminds me of? You ever heard that Cameron song when he says, oh, I love when people say, oh, you got a little car, oh, you got a little car, oh, you got a little crib.
Yes.
Oh, you got little fans.
You got little podcast. Keep that same energy in like 5 years, okay?
Keep that same energy.
You gotta start somewhere.
You know how they say, you got a little. Anytime somebody throws a little in front of it, they're trying to minimize what the hell you're doing.
And when people say, Rock, you got a little buzz. That's cool.
Cool.
You're buzzing out there in the streets. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
You
I can't start attention.
You can't start a fire without a spark.
Right.
You know
Yes. So y'all agree that, like,
and even if it wasn't started, right? He got in a position as a black man to get so high up in there.
They didn't even afford to even
be
at the same table.
How can you hate on that? How can you hate on that?
so he owns like 67% of the company.
If he owned 5%, I'm like, yo, you got somewhere where a lot of us can't get just with 5%. So why would I
You
hate?
can't even get in a room.
Yeah, why would I hate on any percentage you have?
And I feel like no disrespect to that guy, like, but I feel like, cause like you've seen the thread, me and him just kept like going. I wanted to ask him, but then I was just like, I was over the conversation. Like I wanted to ask him, like, you hate Jay-Z? Like because why are you so against me supporting and bigging up?
Even if you hate Jay-Z, that's still no reason for you to. That's just the crab in a basket mentality. Like just because I'm not doing it, I'm not gonna be happy that you're doing it.
And let's just take the Jay-Z part out of it.
Right, because it's just a black man, period.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. Anybody up there.
Yeah, and then I know a lot of like I've heard the thing he already rich. I be like, so is Apple, so is Spotify,
And y'all keep on buying
so is
this stuff every time it
iTunes,
come out.
like
Right.
so is Nike, so is all these people.
Right.
All these people are already rich,
Yeah.
and you're out standing in lines for these motherfuckers.
Still
Right.
buying the same shit over
Over
and
and
over
over
again.
again.
Just change the color.
Right.
But it's just like we have to get out of that. And then like he was a distributor, so I understand that he's in the music business, so I guess that's why he knows the ins and outs. But I'm thinking like with people, are you taking the time to look up these black owned businesses and their background? Because I feel like we don't do that.
Do the research.
No, with other businesses.
Right.
We're so quick to downplay a black owned business and give, well, I did research on he ain't really black, he married to an Asian girl. Did you do that with Ty? Did you research Ty and find out who Ty was married to? Did you do that to Spotify? Did you find out their lineage, like when, like you don't do that with them other businesses, but you do that with black owned.
Look at the Gucci story. The story of Gucci. The whole family was at war with each other, stealing from each other, trying to take this one's stocks in the company, and these are sons and nephews fighting each other. It's crazy. And then the wife had the husband killed.
This is how white people fight.
The wife, one of the
because they have a legacy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see what you said. They fighting over shares and fighting over stocks.
And that's what black people be fighting over. The fucking dishes. Who will get the pot set?
Quarter.
The wife had him killed.
And that's what I'm saying, because they got long money. So they do long cons. They do shit like that, like put insurance policies on motherfuckers. And then hire somebody to murder them.
Yeah.
So are y'all, like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like if we hold black businesses
more
to a
at a higher
different standard.
I'll
give you an example. Like my people, hey, what's up, Rick? Like my people, he ordered from a black-owned restaurant around here. I won't say their name. But I made him order again. He fucked up again too. But I won't say their name. But the first time they fucked up, he's just like, he was mad and he was like, I'm not ordering from them no more. And then he was thinking about like leaving a bad review. And I was like, you know what? No. If you're not gonna call and tell them what the problem was, then don't leave that bad review, because you're not even giving them an opportunity to fix it. And I feel like if it was Chick-fil-A or somewhere else.
But Chick-fil-A give you a reward right away as soon as you make a complaint.
Yes, but you would call Chick-fil-A.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you would call Chick-fil-A or you would let it slide. One of the other.
Chick-fil-A is too expensive to be letting that shit slide.
But some people,
believe it or not, some people like, you know what? Chick-fil-A, they always get it right.
It's
fuck no.
Yeah, man, you was like fuck no, because I had to take some shit back to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I
had to. And I was, oh God.
Like, all right, Michelle, I get what you're saying, but
listen. Let me finish the story. So I'm just like, you cannot. I said call them, because first of all, they ordered it through a service. We're a delivery service, third person. So first of all, you don't know if they got it wrong or if he's like, well, it was just my food. I said, you don't know who other food he had in the car. You know, when you doing them delivery services, you could be delivering to 5 or 6 people. Yeah. So he's like, all right, I don't feel like calling him. I said, well, you're not allowed to leave a bad review in my house. You want to go somewhere else. But he did order from them again, and they did.
They got the shit right.
No, they got it wrong. And this time I went and picked it up and it was wrong.
Damn.
Hey, Mish.
But I still do feel like we don't.
No, Michelle.
You don't let people at a different standard.
All right, how about that day that we had all day taping? We had all day taping.
Don't say the name.
I'm not saying no name.
And we talk about the same place. I just want to let you know. Yes, we talk about the same place. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to say names.
I'm not going to say the name. But
these are 3 different incidents.
We walked all the way to the place.
That's fucked up. I don't know.
Was hungry. Was starving. First of all,
but I feel like we as black people,
and they said come back. And we
as black people need to.
And they still ain't had no food for us. They gonna say come back later.
But we as black people. But we as black people. Let me show you. This is going in the wrong direction. Sorry.
I know we don't got off a black. Oh well.
It is black on black owned. No black owned.
But my whole point, yes, it was a black owned restaurant. But my point is that I feel like we hold black people to a different standard. We hold them way up here.
We exceptional.
Exceptional. Maybe because we just exceptional.
Because we exceptional as people. That's how we expect exceptional as service.
If the Italian, yeah, we got a lot of fucking. But if the Italian restaurant in our neighborhood does that shit or messes up our order, we might say something right then and there, but next week we order from them again. And we order from them again. And we won't even post it on Instagram or nothing like that, or Facebook. But if it's a black owned, I hate seeing them post. That's why I don't like supporting black owned, because they can't never get it right. Let's change the narrative.
I have that experience way less than I have it. Like, I think that a lot of people feel like they have these bad experiences with black-owned businesses, and I really don't have that many times, except for maybe like one or two that I can say.
Well, my question also to y'all was, how often would you say you seek out black-owned before you purchase something?
Usually, I try to look for a black. Well, I'm actually on like several different pages that are just strictly black-owned businesses. So I can literally, it's the one page I'm on is 500,000 people, and 500 is literally, you can find any business that you're looking for anywhere, all black. So I mean, I really don't have that issue, and like I said, I order stuff from black people all the time, small businesses all the time. I don't have problems with delivery time, tracking, packages getting missed. Like maybe like the food.
But I feel like those are normal business issues.
Right.
That's not us, but like some people as black people just blow out of proportion.
Right.
Like FedEx has fucked up. I haven't ever had an issue with Amazon, but FedEx has fucked up plenty of times. There's Walmart has fucked up plenty of times. Like, but for some reason, it just seems like I feel like we should change the narrative and we should start communicating better with our black-owned. How about you, Sean? Like, do you seek out black-owned?
In the past, I just bought whatever the fuck, whatever I was looking for, whoever had it. But in the last, especially with all this shit going on, I'm so guilty with this, but I have been doing more, looking to buy more. Like, I bought more black-owned. Like even down to skincare, shit like that. You know, just to let them know, like, yeah, I mean, you always gonna go with whatever you want.
Works for you.
Works for you. What you've been used to.
Try to balance it. If you can't buy all black and whatever you want might be a white-owned business or a service, whatever. Of course, like, because of course there's more of those businesses than there is black. So you just gotta try to balance it out. For everyone, you should support another one, like, you know, 50-50.
The other last weekend we had a long weekend, and I was like, I want to go out and eat. And at first it was just like, first thing on my brain was like bonefish. I ain't been to bonefish in a minute. I want me some tequila. I want to sit back, eat. But then I was like, no. I know somebody who opened a restaurant. Shout out to Shugs. Yes. I was like, wait, we gotta see if they still open, but unfortunately they was closed. So I had my moment where I was like, no, we about to go spend like close to almost $200 over here at Bonefish.
When I can go over here to a black-owned business and spend the same amount
and give it to her, but unfortunately they had closed for the evening. But I have to be honest, like,
I don't think you should stop supporting white either.
No.
But a lot of people take that, support black,
and think it's fuck everybody.
You never know. Like, you should. Like,
but my whole thing is
one for one.
My whole thing is too. Also, I've also learned don't shop where they don't hire, where you don't see yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you go into a shop and it's always just Caucasian or it's always just Indian and they don't never have nobody helping over. But I have to be honest, I am lacking in my seeking out of black-owned businesses. And when I went to Atlanta, and when I came back home, I always used to be like, at least if I know I'm shopping today, at least try to get something.
1 for 1.
For a black owned, whether it's my food, it could be something as little as lip gloss, like something that I am showing support to my people. But did y'all know that it's 2.5 million black owned businesses according to the Census Bureau?
That's dope.
And that's
not a lot.
But to me it seems like a lot.
It is a lot, but it's not a lot.
And that's 2012. 2.5 million.
All right, so it's probably 150 million. So that 2.5 is like, you gotta find that shit.
Forbes did, and I got that information.
But that's dope.
I got that information. Forbes did a 100 top owned businesses, and the crazy thing about their list was it didn't have, like they stated that at the beginning, it wasn't gonna have no Oprahs, no Rihannas, nothing. And I sent you that link. There is actually a winery owned by 2 black sisters. I think they're twins, and they actually were separated at birth. They didn't meet each other until.
I didn't really read into the whole story about that.
Yes, they're called the McBride sisters. The McBride Collection. There's a wine business. Their headquarters is in Oakland. Their staff is 90% women, and 50% of their staff is black.
That's dope.
Dope.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a lot of. There's actually a whole list of black wineries. They don't own a winery, but they supply the wine to wineries.
I actually went to a wine tasting with a black sommelier, and she showed us how to pair different foods with the wines for what tastes best. And I was just like that's the first time that I ever met a black sommelier, and I was like,
there's a whole movie about that
I don't know why I thought she
guy.
said a black Somali.
I did at first
too. I was fucked up just now. I'm like, yo, what is happening? How the fuck y'all put this cup? No, I got you now. I had to listen to it twice.
And she was really, really nice. She was really, really nice. There
was a movie on Netflix about that. It was a black guy who wanted to be that, and I don't know if the name of Sally. He wanted to be that, and his parents was like against it because his one parent wanted him to join in the family business. But yo, we sprinkled out in every industry.
Right.
Like I think it's some black hockey players too. Like we sprinkled out in a little bit.
Remember, we be coming up with the ideals, and they enhance off of it, or they take it.
No, they take it, and then we come in, and then we excel in it. And then
sometimes, but most of the time we make
sometimes they just take the shit and that's it.
Right.
Now
if
also,
you had a seat, they buy you out or force you out, and then they run with your shit.
Right.
Also, is anybody drinking on it? It says we had 8 others join. I don't know why we can't see you if you're there. I don't know. But is anybody drinking on anything tonight, sipping on anything tonight? We have our special guest with us, Sean Rock, and we're talking about black owned. How often do you guys purposely seek out black owned businesses? Like how often do you do it? Now, One United Bank is also a black owned business. They have made their list, and they're like one of the largest black owned businesses. And
out of that 2.5?
Yeah.
I like to hear it because we like to hear about black banks because that means that you're getting you're getting non-predatory lending practices, which is very prevalent in the rest of the banking industry.
When we buy clothes, I try and look for us. As soon as we get in the plug in the game, more of my bread will go. I might be reading that wrong. I'm a little tipsy.
He's saying that he tried to buy black owned, and
once we get that money too, it's gonna be.
You know what black people gotta stop doing too?
What?
Cause I see this happen a lot with a few homies and people I know who are trying to start up shit. Y'all gotta stop coming to the establishment or the online website and asking for a discount, dog.
Right.
That's why you need to have your online website, so it's no way they can ask for a discount.
Even if I want a store, just because, listen, if I'm gonna give you a discount, first of all, you're gonna know. You ain't gotta ask. But at least buy some shit first. Like on your first trip, ride a storefront. And you're like, yo, Shaw, what up? I ain't seen you since 92.
Right.
Yo, how much these jeans? 50? Yo, damn, I get it for 45.
No.
Like, bro. Because you can't go in Louis Vuitton and be like, yo,
Can
I used to I've been shopping here since 2000. Can I get this person?
They ain't trying to hear that.
Stop that shit, man. Because if I gotta give you a discount, that means everybody come through black. Gotta get a discount, and then I can't produce more shit because I gotta cut it.
I don't know why black people gotta
some
do that
membership
shit.
shit.
You know
They do that shit even with like,
all the time.
even working at the front desk.
Right.
I be working at the front. You
can't look me up.
I don't know you, first of all. First of all, I don't know you. Second of all, this is my job.
And we have protocols.
Like, the same way you have a job, I have a job. I'm not looking somebody up that I don't even know. Now, yeah.
All the time. Discount, you know ahead of time if you get one.
Yeah.
Already fix you up.
Say that again.
If you're getting a discount, you know ahead of time. Already done told you, yo, when you get
Is
there,
there,
ask me.
tell them that you know me.
Yeah, don't
Because
And that's classy shit right there. That's classy
But
shit.
you have this shit already lined up. Because I'm telling you, when I have family come in from out of town the same way, family come in from out of town, they want to come to the casino to eat, I go right to the restaurant manager. Listen, I got family coming in out of town, they want to eat.
Right.
You're like, alright.
Yeah.
How many people? I'm like, it's going to be 4 people.
Yeah.
You're like, alright, see them.
Yeah, but that's something that you already shut
Yeah,
up.
don't
Like,
have
they ain't had to come up
to-
begging you
Right.
or.
Y'all gotta stop that shit. Y'all gotta cut it out.
Because you know what? I got family that's still actually making books.
Young fantasy
Like,
do I know you?
I can pay for books.
Yeah, you pay
Like,
full
why do you
price.
think that I can
Oh,
give you
whatever
a
the
book
fucking
for
price
free?
is. Y'all gotta cut that shit out, man.
And I have a friend, she's in, and that's another thing I forgot to mention. Sean Rock is on both sides, because we are black and brown, we love our Latinos,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Sean Rock is half
Yeah.
black and half Latino.
Yeah.
So I love that also because, you know, we love supporting each other. But I have a friend, she's Latino, and she has a whole clothing line, and I'm always, when I ask her to dress me, I'm always like, just tell me what the price is. And she's always like, no, I'm not charging you. I'm not charging you. But then sometimes, like when I brought her mask, I'll just give her the money. And she'll just say thank you. You know what I mean? I'm never asking like, can you give me something? Can you give me?
Right.
And it's classless.
Because it's very classless, and I think that it's fucked up that you think as a person that my
Because
product
I'm
doesn't
black.
cost.
Because I'm black, I should
Like, I didn't pay for this. Like, I got this product for free,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna hand it off to you for free.
And then when they go
No.
out of business, what happened? Motherfucker, I gave you 20.
All y'all motherfuckers on the free shit.
Coming in here not paying for shit.
Shit's fucked up, man.
Like,
It was an episode. Yo, Girlfriends is such a classic, and it's crazy how the topics that still are relevant now they had back then. Cause Girlfriends had an episode about that. When Lynn and them was coming to the bar, she had opened up a restaurant, and they was just eating there for
Every
free.
weekend,
Just coming there and eating there. Like, no, I still had to pay the lights here.
Yeah.
Right.
I still had
And
to.
she was going belly up.
And
She was going belly up. And Lynn
was
was eating. Lynn was a freeloader though. The whole show, Lynn freeloaded off of everybody.
I gotta cut.
So,
I gotta
Sean
do
Rock-
better. Y'all gotta do better.
Sean Rock, how important is legacy to you? Like leaving something for your children. If you don't mind me asking, how many children do you have? And because you have a black woman, right?
Yes, last time I checked.
Rick knows what I'm talking about. Yes,
Very strong, very black, very strong.
yes, very beautiful woman. And you have how many children?
3.
3 children. And so, like, what does legacy mean to you? Because not only you have the children, you have a wife, and you're married, and you're building, like, from what I see, to me it looks beautiful because your kids, and I talked to Khalida about this, I feel like it's so important for your kids to see you to pursue your dreams and what you want to do. Like, your dad has a regular 9 to 5. Your dad, dad puts money, puts food on the table. He's out here, but he's also sticking to what he believes in and what he wants to do. How important is legacy to you?
Now it's very important. Probably because I'm older, I'm wiser, and I have people watching me. Because when I was younger, running around and shit, I ain't even think about none of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm just doing me, I'm having fun in life. But when you notice, especially with kids, they pick up on a lot of shit. And you don't want them to pick up on the bad shit, right?
Yeah.
So you want them, and you have to teach them. Like, I had a stepdad, he wasn't the closest. I didn't meet my real dad until I was about 24. So a lot of this shit from probably birth to 24, I kind of had to learn on my own. So you want to teach them shit so they don't have to struggle. They help them figure it out early. Because you don't want them to figure it out as late as you might have. Like,
or from the wrong people.
Or from outsiders or just wild shit.
I just said that to my sister. My sister, she's 22 years old. And the stuff that I'm learning now about meditation, about manifesting, about speaking your life into existence, she's learning that at 21.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
that's dope.
That's what I told her.
If I knew half the shit, everybody gonna always say if I knew what I knew.
Right. But it's real. It's
that's a real shit.
Thing.
But I gotta
people in their 20s do not understand that. For real. They think that you're blowing fucking smoke. Like,
no, I think she got it because I looked at her when she was telling me all the information she was learning. I was just like, yo, you're ahead of the game right now.
And if y'all got an OG you can learn from, yo,
take that advice.
Don't be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you do know what you're talking about. Listen to him.
So how do you talk to your kids and what are you teaching them about legacy?
Actually, you know what? It's funny. Legacy, I'm not really on it with them. I just want them to be happy and pursue what they enjoy. Once you find what you enjoy, then you work on leaving it for the next one. But right now, because they're so young, I just want them to find themselves.
And on that.
Right, and don't feel no pressure from me. Like I told my son when he wanted to start rapping. Cause I never forced him to say, hey, you gonna do what I do. Nah, he picked it up on his own, and it comes more natural than somebody shoving it down your throat. So right now, I'm just in the stage of letting them find themselves, and once they land on something that they're good at or they love and they enjoy doing, then we'll zone in on it.
Nurture that thing.
We'll zone in on it.
Yeah, that's important.
That's
what's your sign?
I'm an Aries.
Oh, you are Aries.
Yeah, I'm a Rain.
Because my dad.
And my birthstone is a diamond.
My dad is born in October. You remind me of my dad. Because my dad is my mom, actually.
I got an old soul.
My mom is an Aries, so it's crazy as shit. But my mom and my dad were the same way with us. Like, my dad always, whenever I was going through something, like, his question was always, are you happy?
Right.
Not, what degree are you trying to get? What job are you trying to get? Are you happy?
I tell my kids, because when we was growing up 18, I can't wait till 18. I'm getting right out the house.
Right.
I told my kids, listen, stay when you're young.
Oh, say it again.
No,
we need to normalize that in the black community.
Not kicking our kids.
Me and my wife had this conversation because it was hard enough for us when we left.
Right.
So imagine, you 18, all right, you gotta go. Nah, you stay as long as you want. Now you're gonna help out, you're gonna have responsibility.
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
I'm not gonna make you a slave in the house,
right.
But you're gonna help, you're gonna do, but stay home. Find your career, your job, and your love, your goals, your passion.
Don't go into fucking debt.
Stack your
but
money.
That's what the other races do.
They let them stack their money.
They let them stack their money.
I don't mean to cut you off. One of my white friends at work, real cool dude, and I'm gonna do this with my kids. He told me that once he became of age and working and everything, his parents charged him rent. Probably after 18, right? Mm-hmm. His parents would charge him rent. They used to take that money and put it in an account. And when he moved out, they gave him that money. That was his deposit for his first house.
That's dope.
So they didn't use that money for their bills. They kept it for him. So when he was ready to go, here's a start.
Here's a nest egg for you.
You know what I'm saying? That shit is dope.
We need to normalize that in the black community. I hear so many times black people say, well, I had to work, so they gonna have to get out there and work.
I don't want my kids.
You don't have to.
Will never touch my children. The struggle, my kids, the struggle will never touch.
You know who says that to this day? Who is Charles Barkley even has that mentality.
Well, you know, I had a friend that actually said that to me. He had one daughter, but his daughter had 3 kids. And he said to me that he wasn't leaving none of his stuff, none of his investments, nothing to his daughter. He was leaving everything to the grandkids because she wasn't responsible with money.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I said, well, no. I said, well, whose fault is it that she's not responsible with money?
Yeah, because we need to be teaching. They're not teaching financial literacy in school.
Right.
So it's the parents'
responsibility
to be teaching financial literacy. So if your child is not responsible with money, you can't always say, "Oh, it's a choice." Nah, that's something that you mold and invest in them from the beginning. Like my niece is 3 years old. Is she 3? Yeah, she's 3 years old. She has a savings, like a piggy bank. She's putting money in it. Her mom is teaching her about having credit, about saving money.
You know what the main key word of this whole shit is?
What?
Is raising children.
Yes. Right.
Say that again.
Right.
Raising.
It's not having them be like, boom, there you go.
Well, you know, we also have to take into consideration that a lot of our parents were overworked. So you got a parent that's working 3 and 4 jobs, and it's a single parent.
That should make your grind even harder.
Yes, but it's hard to sit down and teach Micah.
Yeah, it is.
You know, this is how you invest in stock. All you worried about is keeping food on the table. You going back and forth to work.
That is a mentality of black.
Nothing beats a conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't even talk to their kids,
I can't live like that mentality of black.
Or they too busy because they're having kids younger, right? So now you go from a parent to more like a homie because you're damn near the same age, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you're not reaching that level where you're mature or you're focused and you have a kid early, no, I'm not knocking everybody with their kids early, that's your own business. But you're not going to be able to teach much because you don't really know much. Or you going through it with the kid, which is cool.
Let me tell y'all an example. Me and my cousin Richie Blue, we always had this conversation about his dad, which is my uncle.
You don't sound too sure about that.
No. He's my cousin and his dad is my uncle. But our grandfather, mind you, our grandfather had an 8th grade education. He built up his own business. This man was so rich that like the house that we had here in Jersey was their summer home.
Right.
They had a nanny. Now this is back when black people couldn't eat at the same restaurant.
You got a nanny, you doing something special.
Yeah. In that time, you know what I mean? He had a nanny. What I was saying was, this was a man who built like what could have been a great legacy. And at first, like I used to get mad because my grandfather owned multiple homes in Philadelphia. He owned multiple homes. He had a summer home here, but he died suddenly. So
Without a will.
A lot of the kids were still kids. My mom was like 16 years old. Then she had younger siblings. And then his dad was 18 years old. But what my cousin tells me is his dad never talked to him about the business. He never sat him down and told him the importance of, I own 5 homes in Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, when you own a home, you don't own the land.
Right.
You just own the home.
Well, that's anywhere now. You got a lot of land.
And he didn't teach him that. So to them, they grew up privileged, but not knowing that this is something that they have to carry on, that they have to do the work for because they lost their dad suddenly. So they didn't know, like, yes, he's in the real estate. He owns this. Y'all gonna have to go out here and make sure these people pay the mortgage. This is your summer home. This is da-da-da-da-da. So when you say that sometimes, yeah, like they're not teaching them because they don't know anything because they're young. But some of us are not teaching because you don't think that day is ever going to come.
Right.
Where you're not going to be here to teach it.
Right.
I think my grandfather died at like 50, 60 something years
That's
old.
young.
That's
I
young.
have the same type of story with my grandfather. The same thing. He had all of his paperwork already written out, but he never got it finalized. And he literally died in the house by himself. And like my mom and her brother, which she really never had any communication with these people before, really while she was growing up, they ended up having to get together and basically say like, this is what we're going to do with his stuff. And there's still a lot of my grandfather's property that's unclaimed.
And I believe that with our grandfather.
Because like I said to everybody, I was like, I know how wealthy my grandfather was. I said, and that just does not sound like to me like that's the right amount of money that my mom should have got and my uncle should have got. Like I know that it's money somewhere else, and I know in years to come it's going to be a call or a letter that's going to be like, no, because that's usually what happens. I've seen it happen before. 10 years, 12 years.
He had a bunch of money that somebody had left him, and they've been looking for him, and he kept throwing the letter in, and he kept thinking it was a scam.
No,
and it turned it was real money. It turned out to be real money. My mom told me that the bank wouldn't give my grandmother access to one of my grandfather's bank accounts because she didn't have her birth certificate proving that she was who she was, that she was his wife.
Yeah, they went into the lineage.
Yes. And then I'm like, so there's actually my mom said, well, now it's probably dissolved. And I'm like, how can...
Because the state will dissolve it.
That's
because that's the same thing. That's what right now, like I literally just contacted somebody yesterday about trying to figure out who had the rights to my grandfather's books and how to figure out how to get his books back into print. And I was like that's just a whole nother, because I feel sad that that's just, it's just not, his work is not being printed.
And don't stop until you get it done. And don't stop until you get it done. Because we as Black people, we need to take more pride in our legacy, I think when I say this is for Black and brown people, but I feel like Latino people, they know. And they know about
legacy.
They're proud about
it. They can trace their lineage.
We did, like I spoke about that, I think a couple weeks ago, about how my Cuban significant other, like he knows his lineage, like he takes so much pride in Black people because he knows his bloodline so much that he knows that there's Black in him. Like he may look like the lightest, the fairest of skin, but he's done his research so much that he knows. He knows his roots, and for them, it's a pride thing. You know what I mean? We need to get into that. I think.
Meanwhile, we over here fighting light skin.
That's because
DJ Envy made me mad about that today too. He gonna talk about some Genuine. Genuine is the leader of light skins. Stop with that.
Right.
We need to
I hate that narrative.
We need to dead that.
I hate the light skin narrative.
Light skin versus dark skin.
I hate the light skin narrative so bad because I'm like the complete epitome of the opposite of a light skin girl.
You know what this
so if I
the house nigga and the
well that, but even years later. Nah, just us hip hop. Hip hop did it with the videos and all that. It was all
everything was already, I feel like, set in our DNA because of once you start something, and black people don't understand, and white people don't understand how DNA works. Like, people always say, oh, get over slavery. The Holocaust happened, and you don't see them active. The difference between slavery and the Holocaust, slavery went on. We still had children. It was like they birthed us, beat our children, beat us, took our language from us, cut our tongues out, shaved our heads, and they kept breeding us. Holocaust, they killed them. No disrespect, but they wasn't breeding them. They murdered them.
Wasn't selling them.
They wasn't selling them. It wasn't something that they breeded into.
They weren't a commodity.
Yes, they didn't.
They weren't a commodity.
But the thing is, they didn't breed that into their DNA. They just killed them off. So when you kill off a race, it's totally different from when you breed a race. Yeah. You give them a religion.
Yes.
You give them a different language.
Right.
You take them from everything that they... Jewish people were allowed to keep who they were.
Right. You can be Jewish. We still just gonna kill
you.
Now, if you black, we gonna beat the blackness the hell up out of your ass. We gonna beat your religion up out of you. We gonna beat everything that you believe, your belief system, everything. We're gonna beat every single thing out of you.
Delete all us.
Right.
Like,
and we're gonna build you back in. We're gonna give you this religion with your white baby Jesus. We're gonna tell you your name, what you should believe. We're gonna demonize every single thing that you believe in. And we're going to do such a good job on it that 400 years later, we're still going to think that African spirituality is the devil. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That was a podcast right there, man. Real shit. Woo. I started sweating over there. I'm like,
sorry.
Dang.
It's time to wake up.
Yeah.
It's time to wake up.
That shit was
well, it's been a great episode. Yes. I want to thank you, Sean Rock.
We appreciate you joining us. It's always love. Every time you come through, we appreciate you.
Listen, I gotta support y'all. Y'all doing your thing, young women.
Thank you. And
Black, strong women doing your thing.
We definitely have to have you come on a live event where you can actually perform.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. Because we do like the live performances. Don't forget, guys, we go live every single Thursday here at Drips. If you would like to be a special guest, inbox us, we'll consider it. But we also go live once a month where we have a live studio audience that you can join in on the conversation right here. We have a cocktail host. You're also able to bring your own alcohol. It's always 21 and over. This October 29th, we're doing it all over again. But keep in mind, we have a capacity limit.
Yes.
So you have to get here early because once we reach our capacity, we can't let anyone else in. It's limited seating, 25 people, and we'll be doing temperature checks, and we will also
you have to wear a mask.
We have to wear a mask. We're also, I think I would do the masquerade thing.
The masquerade?
Masquerade type of mask.
Oh yeah, it's made it up.
That was some new. That's the new type of mask. It ain't even come out yet. It's about to drop next week.
Alright guys, thank you for hanging out with Sip and Discuss. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Sip and Discuss. Follow us on Facebook, Sip and Discuss. YouTube, Sip and Discuss. Twitter, Sip and Discuss. All across the board. Peace.
Peace.